everybody, I'm Connie Champagne. I'm from San Francisco, California, and I'm currently appearing in 42nd Street Moon's production of Destry Rides Again. It's a fantastic show. I hope you come see it. Mwah. Well, it's kind of funny. I didn't come from a musical family per se. It's kind of my own little secret thing I was doing in my room. I play my little 45 records and I guess the close and play record thing. And so I was sort of teaching myself, I guess, how to sing. And then we went as a family to the beer garden, of all places, at the Placer County Fair. No one was paying attention to me. I was running all over the place. And there was a jazz piano, like a Dixieland band playing. And all these little girls were getting up and singing, "This land is your land," stuff like that. And I thought, well, I could do that. So I asked the piano player, hey, could I sing too? He goes, what do you know? And I said, well, I know Hello Dolly. So I sang, 27 choruses of Hello Dolly. And it completely freaked my parents out, of course, because, like I said, we didn't so much sing as a Christmas carol, let alone, it just wasn't that kind of thing. So that they thought of it was a unique thing. But the guy who played the piano was a guy named Bob Ringwald. He's still around. He's a big figure up in this Sacramento Traditional Jazz Society, and he's probably most famous maybe for being Molly Ringwald's dad. So yeah, that's how I got my start. Godspell and gosh, I worked for a while at Music Circus where I did some hilarious shows with, as an ensemble member. I was with Nancy Dussault as Peter Pan and Alan Suze, the most flamboyant Captain Hook perhaps in history. That was really fun. And I had to showboat with Mickey Rooney, which was a really interesting experience. So, but actually I got my equity card and started working union at the Magic Theater back in the 80s, working with Olan Jones, who's pretty famous and regarded for the work that she did as an actress with Sam Shepard, who she was formerly married to, and the Overtones Theater that did incredible work at the Magic all through the 70s and early 80s and stuff. And I, got to work some at the Eureka, and I worked at the Theater on the Square, which is now called something else. And then I moved to LA and did that for a while. So, and I got to work in New York as well. And but to tell you the truth, I'm an odd type for sure. And I was really inspired when I saw an interview with Whoopi Goldberg and other folks who've kind of had to make their own shows because they didn't fit into a particular type. Like when you go to an audition and you don't really, you don't fit the casting director's idea of what you could, what that character is or whatever. So you have to kind of be able to make yourself be seen in that way. And Anna DeVere Smith, who I also had the pleasure of working with, she was a coach when I was in school, and she did the same thing and wrote her own show. And that started to inspire me a lot about not relying so much on the audition process or feeling bad about the things that I wasn't, but playing on the strengths that I had. And then when I discovered Charles Ludlam and the Ridiculous Theater Company and a great book called The Scourge of Human Folly, that was it. I was off to the races, and I thought, if I want to do it, I'll at least give it a try, And auditions are scary, by the way. So I think that's the other part of it. Yeah, and it's kind of, I feel a little bit, dishonest calling myself an impersonator because I'm not, I'm not like Rich Little. I don't sort of jump up and do different characters or anything. I was cast in a production of Christmas with the Crawfords, which was a show that ran here for many years with Artful Circle Theater. And the director of that, Alan Sawyer, said, I think you'd be terrific with Judy Garland. And I was like, I don't look anything like her, because I'm short, but, that's it. And But yeah, I did a lot of hard work, and it was a cool part. I mean, the more I discovered more about that part, about that real person, I should say, the more interesting it became. And now I've played her, you know, young, old, dead, over the rainbow, whatever way you can possibly think of. And I get to have some music out. In fact, I have a CD of material that I don't know that it's necessarily music that Judy would have sung, but it's certainly music that I would have liked to have heard Judy sung, a la Bohemian Rhapsody. So it's called Imagine Judy Garland. I came to Scrumbly Coldwin, and I said, we're going to do that Halloween show with Karen Finley, and I forget who else was on that bill, but it was at an art gallery and stuff, and I said, what if I become a drag queen for it? I'll dress up like a drag queen, and my drag name will be Connie Champagne. Because I just thought that was the most, but I never in a million years thought I was going to become that name. You know, it was supposed to be a one-off deal. But after that, my cohorts started calling me Connie all the time, and the name just kind of stuck. And you know, because she's like the Cassandra, not, you know, in the Greek myth or something. You know, she told the truth, and plus it's just a cool sounding name. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. You get a nickname and it sticks, and yeah. So mostly I would say I got that name because of Scrumbly Coldwin and his friends, the Cockettes. Because they do material that's not covered by a lot of other people, a lot of other companies. So there's a lot of discovery in that. And I had other friends and people that I actually didn't know that I respected a lot, who worked there, and I thought, wow, you know, it's a gutsy company. I'd like to do something like that. If you can make a living doing something you love, then you're a success.